It's instilled in you. So in the Marine Corps, you learn a value structure that is conducive to survival of U.S. Marines, right? And the value structure is mission accomplishment, troop welfare, everything else, right? So we're doing what we came here to do. And then the next thing that I'm concerned about is how well my people are doing. I think that I was prepared for it by having had, in the time I spent as a private in the PFC, an Lance Corporal, as a non-NCO. I had some good NCOs, and I had some really bad NCOs, right? And so you pull from what you like, and you throw away what you didn't. So I tried to look out for those guys by being calculated and by being consistent. If this is the way that I said to do it, that is the way I expect it to be done. And then we don't have to revisit these conversations all the time, right? I try to catch up with those guys on a daily, weekly basis. Fire team leaders and I are having conversations, every hour. I'm addressing all the Marines in the squad, every day, once a day. So just trying to keep the door open, and it was easier for us because we were a reserve unit, right? Which is, we're not nasty, as some active duty guys would like to say. We're just a little bit more relaxed, right? So those guys were my Marines, but I also went to undergraduate with a couple of them. Like, I know them; they're my friends too, which can make the situation a little weird from a supervisory standpoint when you realize that you got to get these guys to go do something and they aren't going to like it, and it's not just that you're in charge of them; it's also that you're their friend.
Yeah,
but
I was going to ask about that. You knew some of these guys. How'd you balance, your past life with them, and now being a commanding officer? That's
just trying to, trying to frame that sort of existential acceptance of reality that we were talking about earlier. For whatever reason, I've found my way up through the chain a little bit faster. Maybe I've been in the Marine Corps a little bit longer than these guys or whatever. And leader, follower is neither here nor there when we're out there operating, right? Like, that's how information flows through those people, but I wasn't always in charge of every move. Sometimes my first fire team's taking point up there, and he's going to tell me what I need to do when I get there, right? So it wasn't hard, really. It wasn't that hard to balance the two. They all, I think, understood that there was a time when I was Reese and there was a time when I was Sergeant May. And that's with anything. There's a time and a place for all of it. But yeah, just try to remind them, hey guys, this is what it is, and this is what we're going to do, and I know you don't like it, and I may not like it either, but that doesn't matter. This is what we're going to do. So don't do it because you're excited about doing it. Do it because I have to go do it too, and because Smith has to go do it also. Like, we just do this for each other, not for... And so that was how I kept myself in check too. I feel like it would have been easier for me to get disconnected from the troop welfare part had I not been friends with those guys, but I was. So I had a vested interest in taking care of them, and I realized that as the first person in their chain of command, if I don't take care of myself, then I'm definitely not going to be able to take care of them. So I sought out my own peer group. The squad, my fellow colleague squad leaders, the second deployment, all three of us were in Iraq together in the same location on our first deployment. And so I leaned on those guys a lot. We talked about similar problems we were having with morale or insubordinates or whatever, or the successes that we're having in our squad. Trade notes on, hey man, I know you've been having a problem with this has been working in my squad. We do team building stuff, platoon team building stuff as well, and just kind of, I don't know, you get busy, you get caught up, you circle back to make sure everybody's okay as much as you can. And whenever you do that, you have to ask tough questions. Hey, am I okay too?